Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you to our Future Our Voices Skill Builder session, focusing at creating responsible digital, like practicing responsible digital citizenship and how we can create safe online spaces. We will continue and let people join in. So to begin, I would like you to request if you can turn your camera on, if that's possible. If not, that's fine. Keep yourself on mute when you're not speaking. Rename yourself to your preferred name uh, and your country. Pretend has also shared the guidelines that how you can do it in the chat box. But if anybody has any difficulty, then he can guide them one to one. We have the non-verbal responses menu available at Zoom, which you can see that you can raise your hands or you can give expression if you like anything. Once you have any question and you raise your hand, if your query is answered, you can unraise it. Just like you can practice it right now with me to see that yes, how you can do it, how you can give different expression. So wonderful. And for this session, you will need a blank piece of paper and a pen or marker with you. So if you do not have it, I request you to have it ready with you before we move on because you will be needing it soon. Little bit. I would request that if in the chat box we can share your name, from where you are joining us today, and what's giving you energy today. So you are welcome to share in the chat box.
It's great. Sonal, we have Marcela, who's Mexican and says that gives her energy. We have Melissa from Northern California in the US, that she's getting energy from high school students. She's advising. We have Mira from Sweden, and an app gives her energy, no doubt. We have Paulo from Brazil, coffee as well as me. And we have Karim from Pakistan, and working makes him energized. We have Cameron also is joining from Ottawa and says that his source of energy is his mom's food, right? No doubt. Good choice. And Mohammed from Palestine, innovation.
Great. So so really, like how it's amazing how everyone seeks and gets energy from different sources, but how everyone's source of energy is so grounded here. Wonderful. So a little bit about myself and the workshop today. I'm Sonal Dhanani from Pakistan, and I work as a trainer, as a youth trainer in Pakistan. I'm a certified Facebook trainer to implement We Think Digital and Women's Business Program in Pakistan. My work revolves around peace building and countering violent extremism. And recently, I've started doing a digital advocacy and digital peace building as well. So this workshop is very close to me. This workshop is something which I have done before as well, and I am really excited to do it today with our Future Our Voices. And digital citizenship is. We all are aware that in today's era, we are all online when we are offline. Even when we are doing certain activities which are offline activities, we are still online. So if we are watching TV, we use our cell phone at the same time. If we are at the work, we are working and we are using social media at the same time. When we are so much present online, this requires us to set up the safety and how we can make sure that our online space is safe as well. So in today's digital citizenship session, we are going to understand what kind of information is there, how we can be positively engaged at the social media, and how we can minimize content which is present in our digital world. And just the fun fact that it's 4 a.m. in Pakistan right now. And this is my first time to conduct a training at this hour, but I think this is what giving me energy that I'm really excited to conduct this workshop at this hour. And I see some of friends from Pakistan as well, so that's awesome. That's giving me more energy that people are here to support. So yeah, to start, I will request you to bring your blank piece of paper And this is going to be a hands-on activity where you're required to do an activity. So if you have your paper ready with you, and if it's possible for you to turn your camera on, can you show me that you have your blank paper? So at your blank piece of paper, I will invite you to think of every information, everything you do online. So all the activities which you do online digitally, just fill this paper with all your digital activities, all of your digital information. So you see example of my map here. So this is your digital map. So just think, just take moment, reflect that what do you do online, all the activities, all the information present online, just put it out on the paper. Just make sure that this paper is fully filled. There is no uh, great blank space, but just that this paper is filled with the information and activities you do digitally. So take your moment to think, and get your digital map going. Just think of the ways you create the content in the digital world. When I say you create the content, is like the information you share, how you like, share, reshare, or give your opinion about anything, how you connect with your friends. So, any activity, any applications you use, or anything you perform digitally is your digital activity. And if anybody is finding it difficult to know what I do digitally, just close your eyes, just reflect, like what you have been doing entire day, how you were using your digital presence, how you're using your cell phone, which applications you are using, and you'll be able to find out more details of your digital activities. Okay, so once everybody is done, so I'll request you to fold your paper in half. So your drawing or your digital map should be inside. So again, the blank side is at top. Okay, great. So now I'm just going to demo that what how it works. I'm going to give some of the situations. Whenever I give one situation, you have to tear a piece of paper like this and put it apart. So whenever I will give a situation, at that time you will have to tear a piece of paper and put it apart. And for this, I will request that if you can close your eyes and listen to, like, just hold your paper like this, close your eyes and listen to my directions and visualize what I'm saying. So right now I will invite you to visualize all of your activities which you have mentioned at this paper. So in this paper you have mentioned all the activities you perform online. That's your digital footprint. You see that how digital devices and digital platforms have a lot of information and interactions. You use this almost every day to connect with people, to perform your everyday necessary job, to perform our daily tasks. Now imagine somebody has reported your content because it's offending. I'll request you to tear a piece of paper and put it apart. Just imagine somebody has unfriended you because of the content you are sharing at your social media. I'll request you to tear another piece of paper and put it apart. Imagine you have forwarded certain news, information without verifying, and it has resulted in a conflict or harm to somebody. Tear another piece of paper and put it apart. I invite you to open your digital map and see how it is now, your digital identity. So you see that, like, these are some minor examples given by me that how our certain acts can harm our digital identity. Similarly, like, in the same way, this map is there with us. So many times when we share any opinion without thinking of the other person behind the screen, it can result in people reporting your content. It can result in people unfriending or unfollow you. Many times we pass on the information which can result in any clash or harm to somebody. So, if anybody from the group would like to share in the chat box, if you have experienced something, any similar situation which were mentioned by me, that anytime you think that, oh, yes, once I forwarded something which wasn't verified, or once I put something which were harmful and people didn't like it. So, if you have any example, you can share in the chat box with everybody. So, or any other example which resulted in the similar action or behavior from someone. So here we see that certain actions, uh, like, in a non-tangible manner, can result in the same way to our digital identity. It leaves the same marks on our digital identity, same as this map. We start losing our unique digital identity if we are not aware that the content we are producing can harm somebody, or if we are not aware that the content we are forwarding without verifying can create any clash or can create any further harm to anybody. So that results in harming our own digital identity and the everything we do digitally. So if anyone has example, if you have experienced something like this, that yes, or your, even if not yourself, if any of your friend has result have experienced something like this where they forwarded something without verifying, which had harmed anybody, or if you had put some opinion on any content at your social media or at your digital platform, which resulted in people unfriending you or reporting your content. If anybody would like to share an example.
I do have an experience these things, by the way. May I say something? Am I?
Sure, sure, Hamza, please.
I do have an experience. I have some friends of mine, basically my female friends. They've been harassed on social media from the side, other sites which they don't know about the responsibilities of digital media and responsibilities of how can they use social media rightly. So they've been harassed on social media. That how, let me define that, fake IDs and fake comments and fake, messages from their name and their profile picture to some people which they know personally. Uh, After reporting these things, people come to know that they were the fake IDs, but the image they created on other people and the image they created on society was like, we still have some frauds and we still have some kind of harassments or digital harassment, we can say, on social media as well. One of my friend got depressed because just because his best friend unfriended him on small things and small issues. So this can harm people more rather than if they start thinking good, if they start ignoring these things. So we should know the limits and boundaries of using social media and other
Yeah.
these apps.
Thank you for sharing, Hamza. So these are very relevant examples. So if anybody has any example, you can put in the chat box. So now we are aware that everything we do digitally makes us a digital citizen. So if I'm at a digital platform using digital application, performing activities digitally, that creates my digital footprint as well. So my behavior, my online behavior, this leaves marks on how I operate. So example, we see that people follow, like, and many people have a lot many followers. There is a reason, because their online behavior and their activity leaves a certain mark on a person's profile, or leaves a certain mark on person, as per person's interest. That's why people choose to follow them. But if our marks are not good, if our digital footprints are not good, we will see that people are not there in the support, or people are not there, or people who are supporting similar will be sharing a similar ideology or similar interest with us. So it is very important for us to understand and to track that what are my digital footprints, the activities I'm performing online, what kind of impact these activities have is it protecting my digital identity, or is it really harming my digital identity in the similar way with this map activity? So as a digital citizen, similarly as an offline citizen, when we make sure that our space is safe, now when we are online and many of information is there, unlimited information is there, and unlimited resources are there, it is also our responsibility to create positive online engagement, to make sure that everybody present at this platform feels safe and comfortable. Similarly, like as the same way as I would like to feel safe. So if just think from your perspective that when you go on any social media application, how would you like to feel? How would you like to perform? What would you like to see? Once you start reflecting on these questions, it's easy for you to think before producing any content. It's easy for you to think that whenever I'm putting something or performing any activity, how is going to impact the other person. So I will invite you to put your to pick your cell phone. It's easy to do this on your cell phone, so you can still be connected with us, and go to menti.com, www.menti.com. Use this code 9631980 and give your responses at what kind of content is present digitally. What do you think? What kind of content is present digitally?
I've entered these levers. I've done.
Yeah. Other, we will wait for other people to share their responses. And yes, we see responses coming in. Great. So we see the opinions, informative, private life information, fake news, false news, networking, troll, pictures. So most of the people have shared like opinions and informative here. So these are some of the kind of contents which we see digitally. Some of the information or kind of a content which is present digitally, which can result in certain action or behavior. So there are three types of information which are mentioned by you as well: is fact, opinion, and false news. It's very important for us to understand that how do we have these information present at our digital world. So fact is something which can be proven. Example, this is an apple, and I can prove that this is an apple. Opinion, something which cannot be proven, which is something which is personal, which I think or I perceive. So if I say this is an only apple in the city, this cannot be proven. False news, something which is not true. Example, eating 10 apples per day can help you grow 5 centimeter taller. So something which is not right, something which is not true, something which cannot be proven true. So there are three types of information which we see at the digital platform. These information are presented through different sources like news. So we see a lot of platform, a lot of channel, they're presenting different news. So facts, the information which can be proven are mostly communicated or present at the platform through news. We see product information and advertisement. There are many companies, many small and large enterprises operating which want us to buy their product. Many times we see the fake products and say a fake information there in the advertisement as well. Not that every information or every advertisement is fake, but there are greater chances for us to be scammed or to click on the wrong information or go for the wrong product. Government also uses the channel to provide information related to public services, related to the new policies, related to the new awareness messages or announcement. I'm sure in the current time, in the COVID time, we are seeing a lot of many government using this platform to communicate with their citizens, to pass on the information to them. Now, look at these three information. We have John with us today, and John has recently joined social media, and he needs our help to understand that how he can distinguish in different kind of the information he sees online. So, are you guys ready to help John? This will be in a buzzer style. So John has certain questions, And anybody who has answer, I'll request you to share in the chat box. And just to let me know, I will request you to unmute yourself and tell me that if you're ready to help John. So just give me a go that yes, you are ready. So we will start with the questions John have. This is going to be in a buzzer style. So when you have answer, you can write in the chat box, and whoever answer first will be the favorite John's favorite supporter and lifeline. So here, question one: what type of information would someone post to share their personal experience or opinion? Your options are news, personal post, meme, ad, or fake news. And the correct answer is personal post. So, yes, so if anybody who would like to share their personal experience or opinion, that will be their personal post. Okay, so ready for question number two? What type of information would someone post if the intention is to make people laugh? And your options are news, personal post, meme, ad, or fake news. That's right. The correct answer is meme, Jeff. Okay, so next question. What would someone post if they want to harm or trick people? And your options are news, personal post, meme, ad, or fake news. That's right. So when people want to harm anybody or trick people or create any conflict or clash, they use a lot of fake news, and that's the right answer as well. So So thank you. John is really happy for your responses, and John will be around with us. So how we know that how this information is there? So we often see that this information, these kind of information, is present in the form of clickbait. When we know we see those clickbait in different website or a different digital platform, we see different images. For us to think, when we see information like this, is kind of a alert for us to know that, oh, okay, is this a clickbait, is this real or no, are these images real or no, I need to verify if this image is right from the current time in the same context, or no, this was from the past post or is from any other context. Is this source relevant, authentic, or no? So many times we can go and see the accuracy and authenticity of the source from where this information is coming. We can go and check the author, that who's writing, what is the credibility and authenticity of that author, what is the context. Many times people misuse the information and pictures or the past news in the current scenarios. Where else you can check this information? So if, let's say, if it's about finding or buying any product, so just go for reviews, just see that if this is relevant website or no. When you see people saying, okay, all Fridays will be off now in United States of America, where can you go and verify this information? Is this present on any other news channel? Is it present on any other news media or no? So these are some of the questions which we need to ask ourselves before we put our opinion or before we pass on this information to anybody else, to find out for us to, as a digital citizen, to make sure that we minimize the content which could be harmful or which can fool people or which can create any conflict in the community. When we are there and we have easy access to information, and a lot of information is there, where we can easily connect with people, where it's easy for us to share our opinion, many times it's easy for us to be lost in our own feelings and experience. So because there are no restriction that how many times I can share my opinion, there are no restriction that from where I can share my opinion. So when a lot of access is there to the information, it is also very easy for me to forget that there are people behind the screen, that there are people who are bringing their own experiences as well. And one of the fact which we cannot ignore, that when we are online and communicating online, we are missing the visual presence of this person. So how many of you have experienced that you were having a conversation with someone which was received in a different way, where you meant something different? So if you have experienced something like this, share in the chat box that yes, I have experienced something like this, where I meant to say something else, but my statement was received or taken differently. because your visual presence wasn't there, or you person cannot listen to your voice tone or your delivery style. So at the digital platform, when people are sharing their opinion, their visual presence, their expression, and their tone is missing. So it's difficult for everybody to understand that you meant the same thing which you wrote at your media, or which you shared. How we make sure that we are taking care of the people who are behind the screen. So when we are in the real life, when we meet different people, when we meet a stranger, when we meet new people, when we are networking with the people, we try to understand their culture, we try to understand their map of the world, we try to understand from where they are coming from. It's similar at the digital platform. When we are there, we need to understand what kind of a digital audience is connected with us. We need to understand that from where this digital audience is coming. We need to accept that these people are bringing their different journey and different experiences. And when we step into accepting that people are bringing different journey, that's where we start empathizing with the people. I would like to ask you guys some to share example of some of the ways you think we can empathize with the people. What do you think? Share some example that how we can empathize with the people. What are some of the ways? Yes, respond positively to their post. One way to show empathy. Anyone has any other example of how we can share or show empathy in digital world? If you don't understand, don't respond, hold back to your opinion. Wonderful. Find a time in their life they might have felt similar to the feeling you are asking them to connect to. Great. Give examples of similar personal relevant experiences. Try to understand what happened, show similar feeling, or motivate the person. Wonderful. So these are some of the ways of how we can share or show empathy with the people. So in the digital world, it's not, we cannot deny the scope of being empathetic. We cannot say that it's digital and we cannot be empathetic. There are four ways that we can show and grow empathy in a digital world. So place yourself in others' shoes. It's important that you put your opinion on the side and try to understand the experience or the journey other person is trying to bring. Many times it's not important to share our opinion, but rather to share feeling with someone, to know that okay, I feel otherwise, but to see that this experience is very personal or close to someone. So let me try to understand their feeling. Let me try to be there to listen to their feeling. And in a digital world, when you see someone sharing a certain content, you can reach out to them personally to ask, like, I saw certain comment, or I saw you sharing this. I read about this thing. Are you okay? Would you like to talk about this? I am sorry that this happened to you. So, very small gesture can help people feel safe at a digital platform. Treat everyone as important. So just think that how you would like people to treat you and start behaving in the same way. So if you would like people to treat you respectfully, if you will like people to have give you that freedom to share your opinion, try to give the same behavior, try to build the same environment for other people where you are treating other people as important as you will treat yourself. Be open. So when I say be open, is to be open that everybody brings a different experience. Everybody comes from a different cultural background, speaking different language. Their style and their exposure in their country could be very different than your exposure. Their journey could be very different than your journey. So just accept that people's understanding of the topic or the things could be different. Be sensitive to the environment. Understand that what current environment is happening. So example, if I am talking to someone and I know that something happened recently in their area or in their life, so just be sensitive before sharing your content comment, or before sharing your opinion, or before passing on that information to somebody. So I'll just give one example that we a few months back experienced a very famous celebrity committing suicide. So many people can receive it differently. So, and if I keep on passing information about suicide, maybe like, person would not like to receive it because it could harm their mental health, it could harm their emotional. So I need to understand if the current environment is sensitive, how I can hold back some of the information or how I can share this information differently. So once you start practicing these things, it's easy for you to grow empathy in a digital world. How do we practice to communicate respectfully? So, some of the ideas were shared by you, some of the ideas I will be sharing that consider other. That as soon as you just recall that people are not able to see your visuals, people are not able to see the tone of your voice. So just communicate in a way where it shows that you are considerable of other, where you are respecting other people, where you are open for other people to share their opinion as well, and this shows that you are accepting differences as well. So how you can use certain statement which which provides that space where you are sharing your opinion as well, but at the same time you're opening yourself for to understand other people's opinion or their behavior as well. So consider that there are other people present in your digital era. Just consider your digital audience and then share something or then produce the content. Perspective. People can bring different perspective. So as I shared that maybe I'm coming from Pakistan, my exposure is different, where someone coming from Finland can have a very different exposure. So our journeys could be different. So understand that people have different perspective, and you cannot say that which perspective is right, but just open yourself to understand that yes, this is their map of the world, this is my map of the world, and okay, let me open myself to understand from where they are coming. One thing of like one practice of understanding that from where people are coming will make sure that like you will pause every time to write something before writing something or before passing on any information, to just see that will it be received in the same way. Is it changing perspective for somebody? Is it the similar uh, will people share the similar emotion as I'm sharing, or this could be something very personal or something very offending for anybody else. So, example this. So, what do you see in this picture? If you can share in the chat box, what do you see in this picture? So, what was the first thing which you were able to see? Yeah, two faces, butterfly. So this is one example where you see that few people are able to see butterfly, but as soon as you start paying attention, you see two faces as well. Both of the perspective is right. I cannot say that okay, people who saw butterfly is correct or people who see two faces is correct, but we see that both of the perspective are present and both of the perspective are correct in their own way. So similarly, when people are sharing any opinion or people are sharing any information at a digital platform, just pause and see that maybe like this is their perspective and this is the right perspective as well. Maybe their experiences are different than my experiences. So instead of just having the effort of like proving that I am right or my opinion is right or what I am saying is right, just open yourself to understand that what other people are sharing at the digital platform and how their experience or their perspective could be different than yours. So here I will invite you to reflect and prepare your personal code of behavior while you are using internet. So I will like you to think of five things, five code of conduct which you would like to practice for yourself. That yes, these are my code of behavior for using internet. So how I would like to use internet or digital media. So you can share in the chat box your five practices, that what will be your personal five code of conduct for using internet or digital media. Just take a moment, think from your perspective, from where you are coming, that yes, these are five things which I will make sure that I practice. And good that people like are reflecting and sharing. Britain can read some of the responses for us.
Absolutely, right. We have several answers here. We have sharing content that is helpful, not harmful, from Catherine. We have from Giselle, being to be kind. We have sharing, not making negative comments, also from Giselle. We have from Paulo Emilio. We have to be patient, read carefully, taking care about data, try not to harm others, sharing positive things, and not clicking on strange links. And being that said, I see a link on the chat. We do not endorse or encourage anyone to link, but thank you, a human from Melbourne, for sharing. Take time to think about the other person's perspective before judging their post, says Catherine from Finland. And a human again says that they think our community could benefit by doing this workshop. Thank you for your comments. Share only what I can share in person, says Catherine. And that's all about it for now, Sonal.
Wonderful. So these are wonderful example of designing your own code of conduct, and it's good to reflect. It's good to come back to these, to see, like, to make sure that in my everyday practice that my digital activity is there. So I make sure that my digital footprint is what I wanted to produce, and I protect my digital identity. So this calls for, like, we are moving towards end of the session, and I would like you to ask, like, what is one thing which you are going to start from today after this session? If you heard something or you saw something, so what is one practice which you think you are going to start from today? You heard of the responses from other people as well, so something which stuck with you, which made you reflect that yes, like, from today, at my digital activity as to create my digital footprint, this is something which I'm going to start from today.
Catherine says to be more empathetic. Paulo Emilio says he wants to be open. And from a human from Melbourne, that is going to figure out how he can get or they can get this process into their very own online community. Giselle says to read carefully to avoid problems.
Yeah. So these are wonderful, wonderful practices to start from today. And some of these practices will make sure that we minimize the content which makes people feel uncomfortable or unsafe, because we're there online spending most of our time. So it is important for everybody to be comfortable. We cannot deny the scope of the digital world. So it's not that we say that, oh, why don't you leave the digital world? It is nearly impossible in the current time to leave the digital world, but rather we can put our effort to make sure that this digital platform is safe and that people are empathetic, that people are understanding before writing or before producing the content, that okay, how this will how this certain activity or my digital footprint will affect somebody. As soon as you get into the practice of reflecting that, oh, should I share this or should I not share this, how other people will receive it, is it the similar for my digital audience, what I'm saying with is like, can everybody relate to it or cannot relate to it? As soon as I start this reflecting activities or this reflection before producing anything, so it will make sure that the content which is harmful, which can offend anybody, make unsafe, is minimized, and we all have a safe digital space. So thank you so much for joining this skill builder session. We are open for 10 more minutes. If you have any question, if you'd like to share your views or ask any questions.
Well, I think it's more like a commentary, but I liked the presentation and thank you for um, give us such an important information.
Thank you, Giselle.
Look, just Robin here in Australia. I want to say that that was a refreshingly brief and very good way of introducing people into a perspective, like as part of an induction into an online community. And I'm involved in a few, and in one in particular, we've been trying to look at how we could sort of like look at the incarceration process, and your simple steps there. I just want to thank you for sharing. And as I said, my to-do list is to figure out how do I get the rest of the community to consider going through what I just went through in 10 to 20 minutes. I thought it was a really nice reframe. So where do I go?
Thank you. And yes, like, I think using digital platform, if we all start producing something like, going live for 5 minutes, making a short video talking about the similar thing which we have learned today, will help you cascade the message to the larger audience, and will help more people to pause and to reflect before producing any content at the digital platform, which stays there for a longer time. So I think every time when I'm producing something, I just keep sharing with the young people as well, that don't forget that this will stay there for forever. Even if you delete it, somewhere is there. So just be careful while you're producing something what you would like to produce. So thank you so much for joining. I'm sharing some of the ways where you can stay connected with me. And our future, our voices have some more wonderful workshops going on for upcoming days as well. So do explore the agenda, do join in the other session as well. And thank you for joining this session. And yes, Britain, would you like to add anything?
Thank you, Sonal, and congratulations for your presentation. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And Sonal invited you. Please explore the IYF Summit agenda. There's other meetings that you may attend if you're interested. And thank you, everyone, for your presence.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Take care.